Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. It is NCAA basketball season. I am Jack Stash. We are here with Mick the Quick, Huskies for life. I like it. We're picking brackets today. I understand it's a little late. I understand there's 3 seconds left in the game. We tip off at 12:15. Doesn't matter. I'm picking them anyway. You guys will get an opportunity real quick to see what we do with our brackets. Mick, how are we feeling this morning?
Feeling good, man. It's finally coming alive here. It's March. It's actually above 50 degrees here. Basketball, rip run, ready to go for the next 2 weeks, and let's do it to it.
All right, let's do it to it. I like it. All right, so we have our introductions. It's NCAA basketball. We've got our sheets up here, so we'll be picking live with you. I'm gonna click over here real quick and let me know if the screen's good. I'm just gonna talk through it.
Yep,
all right. So yeah, you can see me sliding and moving around here.
Yep.
All right, perfect. That's what we want. All right, so I guess we'll start in the South and we'll fight each other and we'll kind of come back and see which teams we really like. So I guess we'll start with the teams that reside in the same state, right? Auburn versus Alabama State. I mean, is there a lot to this? A little bit to this?
Don't overthink it. Move along.
All right, so we'll just click it, right?
So let's kind of just go through like some of the ones for which, we should be somewhat automatic. So you should get Auburn through. I wouldn't. Well, we're gonna have to fight over Creighton. We're gonna have to fight. I think Michigan should get through.
Okay. All right. All right, so let's fight over Creighton. Let's take care of take care of some of this region here. Louisville versus Creighton. Here's what I'm going to say. I like what Louisville has done this year in a watered down ACC because that's what it is, right? It's a little bit watered down. I understand North Carolina and Duke are still there. Duke is what Duke is. I still think Clemson's pretty good because they're bringing back a lot of the same team from last year. Louisville got in. They're a tough team. It's their first year. I still, in my heart of hearts, I hate the way Creighton played this year. They didn't play well at all. Banged up, injured, couldn't find a healthy streak at all. I still like that they're getting healthy. I like Creighton over Louisville here. How do you feel about that?
I agree. I'm still also be somewhat, transparency. I'm going to be a little bit of a Big East fan as I go along. I think that, it's two things you can't teach are heart and height. Creighton's got some height to them. They've got a nice little 7-footer wandering around, back around for at least his second, if not third year. So I think that's going to present a matchup for Louisville that they may or may not be ready for. So if it's me, and I think I had it, I'm going to take Creighton. I'll take the Jays.
All right, so we're in lockstep because if you could convince me Louisville, I would maybe sit down and back off on this one. But as long as we're both agreeing on Creighton, let's rock Creighton.
Right.
All right, moving on. We both like Michigan. UC San Diego doesn't have much in it. Unless you know something I don't know, you're the expert. I'm just kind of following with you. You spent some time at San Diego. You seen the guys playing outside that really impressed you?
No, but I think on the other side of the ball, I think Michigan definitely should be the one that should get through. Won the Big Ten tournament.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah, either that or Michigan State. A little touch here and there, but they should do what they're supposed to do there. They should win.
Michigan's good. They're not great. They've been consistent all year. I think the seeding's actually perfect for them. If they play the best, I think Michigan's probably a 3 seed. Tough team, scrappy team. They're not Michigan State, but Michigan's a good basketball team, and good basketball teams that aren't wonky usually get by here, right? I mean, you don't have 3 guys that are athletes. They play as a team. We'll move Michigan on. And listen, I understand the want to push an upset here. Let's just not overdo it. Let's just not, if you haven't seen anything from a team all year, let's not do it. Now, if you want to push an upset, this is your game. Texas A&M against Yale. We know that Yale has a great track record over the past few years. They do a lot of times advance past this round. Do we feel like it's another year where Yale could do this?
So
you don't have to say yes.
Sure. I mean, again, like you and I could easily sit here at any point in time and go, this team could easily upset that team. And we've seen it, what we thought would happen in the past 5 years. They're just being like, oh my God, how the hell did that happen? So, yeah. I mean, the only thing I can say for the most part is A&M's BPI is 22.
Okay.
Yale's is 69.
What's BPI?
That's your basketball power index.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Nope, that's okay. So it's based on, some things here and there, but overall, your overall wins and losses, and then it kind of starts coming into the other teams that you beat and their wins and losses based upon your overall offense proficiency, your defense proficiency as well. So, and it also your strength of schedule helps as well. So you may have phenomenal numbers, but if all you did was play the Orlando YMCA second string basketball team every time, you're not going to have a high BPI. So,
all right. So we got a 22 BPI versus 69, I believe, with Yale.
Correct. And full disclosure, anybody playing on Orlando second string basketball, I do apologize if I offended you there.
I know a few of them. They'll be coming to find.
I'll come down there.
All right. That's fine. There's plenty of golf for you.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll move on. We'll say A&M based on BPI is a lot stronger. And we like Yale, but, again, Yale isn't the strength they were the past few seasons. I think we can all agree with that. Moving on to Ole Miss and North Carolina. And we are doing just the South region right this second, and then we'll slide just below the South region to the West.
Okay.
All right. So
let's talk about what have you seen recently? The Monday morning, now it's the Wednesday morning or Thursday morning basketball coach.
I've seen North Carolina play well. They're not the North Carolina of old. They're not dominant, but I've seen them play real well. They played well the other night, and by playing themselves in. They gave themselves an opportunity to get in this tournament. Now it's anybody's game. They're not dominant. But this is interesting, right? Because another team from North Carolina got on a roll last year and got all the way to the Final Four. That was NC State.
Right.
Not the same team, clearly, but could be the same set of circumstances here. Right. I don't know a lot about Ole Miss. But I do know a team that has just played a couple times in the past couple days and obviously get rolling. For me, I would take the upset here. I would take North Carolina.
Is that really an upset, though?
Judging by the numbers, it is.
Sure. You're going to have to factor in as well. Just, again, it's matchups. And, of course, you've got Big Brother with Tony and Vinny running around out in that nice warm town in Nevada. That will definitely remind you that it may not necessarily be an upset.
It's true.
I would think that on the general public side, probably a lot of the money will flow towards North Carolina after watching what they saw and what they did. But again, you got to remember North Carolina is 1-12 against the BPI under 50. They won one game against a team that was ranked in the top 50 BPI. Lost 12 of them.
Okay,
for those of you keeping score, Mississippi State, correct?
Yeah.
34th.
All right. So you're talking me out of North Carolina. Oh, because the public might also be out.
I'm presenting you options. If it's me right now, of course, again, I'm a homer. I love North Carolina. I want to see them succeed. I'd put them through. I would also, if I was to literally look at this in a betting and or like this isn't a friendly bracket we're filling out, there may be some wagers that may be presented. I wouldn't mind UC and taking Mississippi State.
Okay. So I started off talking about this could be an upset, and then I went. The next thing that came to mind was North Carolina hasn't been impressive. They're not North Carolina of old. I just had a bunch of things to say against them because I haven't seen anything from them. So I'll tell you what, I don't believe that North Carolina is a top tier team, and I don't think they're even a top tier team in the ACC right now. So I think that Ole Miss could be sneaky. Let's take them. Let's just go against the grain. I know everybody loves North Carolina, but I think you're right here. Chalk so far.
I did that wrong. Was that women's?
Chalk so far.
Pretty. Yeah.
Iowa State, Lipscomb. For those of you that haven't followed the NCAA tournaments over the years, Lipscomb puts together a pretty good program. They've been sneaky over the years. They have had Cinderella-like runs where they win one or two and then they get ousted, but they always play tough. There's always a difficulty in this team. Is Iowa State strong enough to get past a team like Lipscomb? Because, the Pac-12 hasn't been very good this year.
Injuries have plagued Iowa State.
Yeah.
And, chemistry and going way, way back in the day of watching Princeton upset, I think it was Carolina, with their backdoor screens of having all seniors and everything else, of getting to know how your players move around. Plays a good point. I don't think that Lipscomb can bring the mighty Bison herd through and get past the Cyclones, but I think the line in front of me is 13.5, and it actually went up to 14.5 now.
Okay, all right. There's movement
I
on.
would not be surprised to see that a little tighter than that, but I think Iowa State moves on.
Okay, all right. I like how you're bringing the lines into it, right? Because anything under that kind of threshold, 13.5. If it was like 7.5, I'd be like, what they're trying to tell you.
I need to flip back real quick. Full disclosure, I said something wrong. Carolina does not play Mississippi State. Carolina plays Ole Miss.
Ole Miss
is 32nd in the BPI, and Carolina is actually favored by 1.5.
Really? So,
like I said, I think you get that. Like, we as just human beings constantly remember what we've seen and always relate to what we've seen the last. Like, this is my last image of 95 to 67. Jesus, Carolina's good, and you go, these are 2 11 seeds there. They're not.
Well, it's really interesting too, because so on the NCAA paper for which we're looking at, Ole Miss is the favorite, right? They're the 6th seed against the 11th seed. But
they should be correct.
But Vegas is, and they should be because of their BPI and all these other tangibles. But on Vegas's side, North Carolina is the favorite, and what's tricky is that they're the favorite and everyone's going to bet them, but we're pretty sure it's going to be wrong.
How do you put the money where it is? And just, again, I know we throw numbers all over the place. Carolina's BPI, 24.
Oh, is that good?
So it's not like they're a cupcake. They just care. I think they were ranked in the top 10 preseason, but we'll keep trucking along here. But
should I flip it back?
I don't know. You could flip a coin.
I don't want to flip a coin. I don't even have a coin to flip.
What happened to all your houses that you had last year? You should have some money lying around.
I can flip a house. I can't flip a coin. You know what? Let's move it back to North Carolina, just because their BPI is a lot better and we have a little bit different information, right?
Okay.
All right, let's go to Marquette and New Mexico. New Mexico is obviously better than Old Mexico, right? They have to be.
Boo. But I see where you're going with that.
I mean, Marquette, the Big East is not good this year. So I know, but they're not, right? I know you're Big East. I know you're a Huskies guy, but there isn't a lot of strength in the Big East. I just don't believe it. I'm not saying New Mexico's these world beaters, but They seem to get in every year. They seem to keep the same squad. I haven't done research on New Mexico. But again, they just seem like a dangerous team every year, and I think this is probably an upset. I think New Mexico over Marquette.
Okay. It's not going to be much of an upset. You got 3.5 going to Marquette.
Oh, I love that. Then I love the upset then here.
And again, it's not who you are, what you are, and how you perform. I like seeing the whole cow. This guy.
Yeah.
New Mexico's BPI is 50.
Okay.
Marquette's is 20. So, and Vegas has said that 30 difference to them is 3 points. So I think that, again, I don't know where the money's going, but this is going to be, I'm not saying so in my mind, an upset is somebody where that spread is 8 points or more, 8.5. Like all of a sudden, you should be winning. And even if it's tight at the end, you pull it out, you may not cover.
I do feel like this though. I feel like that BPI difference should equal more than 3.5.
But in Vegas's eyes, it doesn't.
That's what's interesting to me. That's what
it actually opened at 4.5 and went down to 3.5.
Somebody bet it down. Somebody bet it down on that. I'll take New Mexico. I actually really like. All right, so that's our first upset of the day. Not so much. I guess North Carolina as well, but you guys could sit with that whichever way you'd like. Moving on to Michigan State 2 seed versus Bryant, also 2 seed.
Bill Belichick of college basketball.
Oh, Tommy Izzo. I love Tom Izzo.
Every year. Michigan State's down. They don't look really good this year. I don't know who we brought back. And every year, there he is running through the Big Ten tournament. There he is coming through as a 2 or 3 or 4 seed. And they just create damage. Easy Michigan State.
Easy Michigan State. And he did something great this year. And I say it's great because, he doesn't carry the baggage, okay, that this other person does, right? He broke Bobby Knight's all-time Big Ten wins record this year. Doesn't carry the baggage Bob Knight does. And, he's been there long enough. I just think he's a better torch holder than our Bobby Knight.
Well, I mean, though they are, although very passionate on both sides, they're almost polar opposites in front of a camera and in front of the press. And again, once you get the press against you, but Bobby didn't care.
Well, yeah. I mean, Bobby doesn't care that you're there. And Tom Izzo bristles a little bit, but he does a better job maneuvering. And you know what? Tom Izzo will grab a kid.
Yeah.
He won't.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm okay with, and he's done it. He'll grab you. He'll shake you to kind of wake you up. But the kids know that Tom Izzo doesn't jump over the line.
Right.
He's very, very close.
Right.
But as far as absolutely, quite possibly hurting your own legacy, Tom Izzo just adds to it.
Correct.
He's great in that fashion. All right, so we'll move on to the West. We love Florida.
Don't even talk about it. Just put it there.
If you take Norfolk State, you need your head examined.
Click the button.
All right. All right. No, I just wanted to get after all the Norfolk State people. Tremendous town. Actually, well, I think Norfolk State was at Virginia.
Yes.
Virginia, and that is, by the way, Norfolk, Virginia, if I'm not mistaken, is Allen Iverson and Michael Vick country.
It's also the biggest naval base on the East Coast.
Yeah, but I don't know if they have any athletes that can match up with Florida. That's the other.
They've got about 16.
Take out what?
We're good. Moving along.
UConn and Oklahoma.
Oh,
here we go. I knew it was going to get to this. All right, let's talk about it.
So my back-to-back team, back-to-back championships is going to end. I just don't know when. It's either I'm hoping not this first game, although it easily could be. But if it's not this one, you're not getting past Florida. So in my mind, I just want to see my team successful and get into the weekend. So I'll take UConn.
I'm going to agree with you. And maybe a favor. Maybe a favor.
UConn's favored.
No. Maybe UConn got a favor. Right? Because I don't think Oklahoma's very good. Obviously, UConn has sent 30 players to the NBA the past 2 seasons. So when you're down 60 players, it's hard to revamp here. Maybe it's not that many, but they are sending a lot of players to the NBA. UConn is an absolute powerhouse. I think they kind of got in on the resume this year, not on how good they are, but that's not just them. There's a lot of teams that kind of got a little bit of bump this year. I'll move UConn forward.
This is the team that went out to Hawaii and went LLL.
Yeah.
You know, again, and I don't want to talk ill will of anything else like that, but it's just there is a good amount of talent on UConn, and UConn's BPI 15. But again, they struggle sometimes against the ones which are a little bit higher than those. So I mean, 10 losses.
Yeah, but they're better than Oklahoma.
I get it. I mean, and Oklahoma's in the 40s. So I mean, UConn on paper and off paper should win this game. I just don't know. I don't know.
They'll get one.
What you've seen over the past 2 years, you're not going to see tomorrow or whenever they play. Actually, I don't know when they play.
Yeah, it's not going to be. It's not going to be special. They'll win. They'll win. It just won't be special, right? I'm sorry. Good.
Yep.
All right, we'll move along here. We've got Penny Hardaway coaching Memphis against Colorado State, 5 versus 12 seed. Rock Chalk?
Should.
Rock Chalk, I like Penny's team. I don't think they're tremendous, but I think they get past Colorado State. Gritty team, bite you tooth and nail. I think he's kind of gone away from his one and done idea, and he's like, you know what, I'm just going to coach. Whatever kids I'm going to get, I'm going to recruit, but I'm just going to coach. I'm not going to try and cheat. I'm not going to try and cut corners. They brought me here to coach. I'm not getting fired. Let's just try to return a good GPA for these kids, a good record for Memphis, and see what we can do getting into the tournament. And maybe, just maybe, if we're a 5 or a 7 or an 8 seed, instead of cutting corners and being a 3 seed, we could sneak up on some people because we worked hard.
Food for thought?
Yeah.
Colorado's the favorite.
Really?
1.5. Opened at 2.5.
Came down, though.
Just saying.
I'm still going to take Memphis.
I mean, sure.
Do you like Memphis?
I mean, I would. The problem is with I don't see as much as the A10 as I used to. So, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, they won their tournament. They won. They're a good team. But again, you're just. I mean, Memphis's BPI is 50.
What's Colorado State's? Yeah, what's Colorado State's BPI?
53.
I mean, they're neck and neck, right? It's call it even.
It's I mean, it's one of those little like at the buzzer.
I'm taking Memphis. I'm gonna root for Penny. Sometimes you just got to take the guy. You root a little bit.
I like it.
Now, this next game is something I want to talk about. Here we go. Number 4, Maryland against Grand Canyon. We all remember Grand Canyon's Cinderella story from last season. Right? Yeah, and usually with the Cinderella story, you get you get that team and then they go away. This is the same exact team. This is the same exact Grand Canyon team. And I want to explain to you. They brought back Tyson Grant Foster. So Tyson Grant Foster, he was basically invited to the NBA Combine. measured well, 40 vert, all this other stuff. I guess they told him he was going to be a late round draft pick, came back to college to try to improve that. Came back to Grand Canyon. I think it's Bryce Drew is their coach. Tremendous coach. Great team. Same team from last year. I don't see a way that you come back to school and you have your same teammates surrounding you and you're going to get ousted in the first round. I can't see it. I know that Maryland's good, right? I know they are. But this Grand Canyon team really upset a lot last year, and I just can't see them not beating Maryland. I'm taking Grand Canyon. How do you feel about that? What's their...
So, I mean, again, this could easily go the way you're going. It's a 10-point spread. Things that are working a little bit in your favor. This is the West, and this is out West. They're playing in Seattle. So Maryland's got to go across, and I wouldn't be surprised to have. I mean, inside that arena, they're not going to be rooting for. They're not going to be rooting for Maryland to get through. So you may have other teams chirping now in the stands where it's supposed to be somewhat even, one-on-one. You may have 3 versus 1 in the stands coming after you. So, I mean, is Maryland a good team? Absolutely. They're well seasoned in the Big Ten, did what they were supposed to do. A 4 seed is right where they should be. Are they I'm certain they were not doing cartwheels when they saw Grand Canyon being like, ugh.
I wouldn't be. I know that everybody's looking at these seeds going, well, but this is the same team. I think Grand Canyon went to what, the Elite 8 last year?
I don't know.
They were for real. Huh?
I was just focused on UConn winning.
Well, I mean, UConn was, you didn't have to focus too hard. You turned on the TV, you watched for 10 minutes, they were up by 15, you turned the TV off. Depending on how you want to watch your games. I don't know. But Grand Canyon was in dogfights with people and won most of the time. And I just, if this gets close, if this game gets close, is Maryland going to hang around? I don't know.
Yes, I think they are. But do you, or are we comparing your experience versus your talent, and eventually one of the two is going to kind of move your way?
They have both of them
in there.
All right, they have, but my whole thing is they have both of it, right? So I don't know if Maryland has an NBA talent. I know Grand Canyon does because the NBA invited him to their combine. I don't know if Maryland's a complete team. I know Grand Canyon's the same team. I understand what Vegas is saying. That could be one of those where, first of all, I would take the points. Grand Canyon's lost last year. I think it was by 4 or 5. Give me 10 points. Maryland's not that good.
Sure.
Moving on. Give me, what do we got? Missouri against Drake. So the only thing I have to say about Missouri is within, I think, 10 days, not a week, but it was just over 10 days. Missouri had beaten Florida in the SEC, followed by Auburn in the SEC.
The SEC's got 14 teams.
I just means you could but I mean, in 10 days, you beat Florida and Auburn, which are considered to be the 2 top teams, however you want to slice it.
Sure.
Drake's got no shot.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Drake get through.
Really?
I wouldn't be surprised to see Drake get through. So,
okay, I'm all ears.
Quick background: the head coach for West Virginia just got hired by Indiana. He was the head coach at Drake. Left Drake 1 year. His son still plays at Drake.
Okay,
and his son is supposed to be the real deal at Drake.
Really?
Now his son supposedly is going to transfer to Indiana at the end of this year. Go through the portal and everything else. I'm trying to find Drake's BPI. And actually,
okay. All right. Listen,
Missouri. So the Tigers, Mizzou is 31.
Okay. All right.
And if I ever find Drake, I'll let you know.
Oh God, maybe they're in the hundreds.
Drake is 71. Drake is Drake's record.
Yeah.
30-3.
Oh, because I was gonna say if they have a 30-win record, I would think about it.
Yeah, Valley. I mean, they're not. I mean, they're good. They're good. Let's see what Uncle Tony and Uncle Vinny say.
Yeah, because
let's see what our boys say over there. We gotta
see what our boys know. Tony and Vinny.
Tony and Vinny. You know, they always a wink and a nod of that monster split.
To all the Anthony and Vincents out there, we're not talking about you. We're talking about Tony and Vinny.
Tony and Vinny. Missouri giving 6.5.
That's tight.
That's why I said, like, I don't.
Okay.
I think on my bracket I took Drake. So
you gotta take shots. I'll put Drake in my bracket as well. You gotta take shots. I mean, that's just the way it is. And if you don't take shots, you're gonna be sitting there going, I should have thought about. Well, you should have thought about. And I got a shot later on in this, just based on a team's name. Sometimes we pick the horse that has our that's Uncle Vinny. Well, I got a team like that later on. Texas Tech, UNC, Wilmington. Nothing to it. Or something to it.
Nothing to it here. 14.5 favorite. I think Texas Tech should just do what they're supposed to do. I don't see much coming out of that. I actually think that like that whole mess. I see that whole bracket over there just being an absolute mess. But
okay, yeah, I'm with you. I'll take Tech. I don't think they're great, but they're better than Wilmington. Wilmington doesn't have anybody really.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
The Rock Chalk Jayhawk. All right. Where we at here? Texas? No, not Texas. Kansas, Arkansas. So it's the Battle of Kansas.
Arkansas or my Kansas, but it can't be both Kansases.
It could be everybody's Kansas. It really could. Let's see. Arkansas versus regular Kansas. You know what? I'm not pumped about Kansas. I really am not. Calipari's in Arkansas. I'm not pumped about them either.
Right.
Here's the thing about Arkansas. Is that they're in the SEC. We know that. They fought tooth and nail with everybody all year. They have a couple quality wins. They beat Kentucky, which Kentucky's good. Obviously, Calipari's whole team. There's a little bit of fuel there. But they've sharpened their team against good teams all year. Kansas. I mean, Kansas lost. Kansas was up by 23 at halftime and lost to Baylor, which has never happened. And the thing is that when they started losing, they had no clue, absolutely zero clue what to do. They were all looking at each other. Their coach called 7 timeouts. He looked like Chris Webber against North Carolina in the finals. He was just trying to call timeouts, trying to figure out. They were on the free throw. It was embarrassing. I just couldn't. It was terrible. I couldn't. It was terrible. So I'm going to take Arkansas here because they feel more prepared. They look a little bit better, a little bit different. I'm going to take Arkansas here. And then
I'm going to take Kansas.
Okay, you could do that. I'm going to take Arkansas. I think that iron sharpens iron, and Kansas is water. They've sharpened nobody. They're putty this year. All right. I'm going to
Calipari needs another year.
He does. But I just think that they could catch Kansas, the guards and such. I'm going to run and grab power real quick. I'm going to let you discuss our Big East, St. John's and Omaha. Give me a minute.
Heard that. This is not going to be much of a game. And this is where everyone kind of complains about how Florida got stuck up top. And literally, St. John's, if they were probably in any other bracket, any other division, might be able to get through. St. John should roll over them, knock off Omaha. Not much there at all. It's nice to see Pitino try to bring the Big East back to life. But overall, you should have St. John's and their Red Storm. There's the man, the myth, the legend. Come back, and St. John's is the easy click. Press
easy click, you think?
Right there. Easy click.
All right, so we like Omaha Steaks, just not the basketball team.
Okay. Easy click.
Easy. Well, I like their steaks. I'm very sorry.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Oh, here we go. All right. Moving on. Where are we at here? Okay. On our right-hand side, we will be... All right, easy click. Both easy clicks. Back-to-back easies. We'll take Duke, yes, over Mount St. Mary's. Now we move on to Mississippi State against Baylor.
So you brought up, and both of us kind of, both sides here went. I was talking about Mississippi State. It was the wrong one. They're 23rd. We talked about Baylor coming back from 20 points down, beating Kansas. So both these teams are seasoned. Both these teams are not afraid of each other whatsoever. This may be one of those like down to the tooth and nail, half court, let it fly or whatever. So in my mind, I kind of like Drew. I just, out of anything else, I just kind of trust Baylor a little bit more. But
yeah,
this thing could go either way. Baylor 19.
Ooh.
And who do we have? Mississippi 34.
Mississippi State, yeah. I like Baylor better. I've seen a little bit of fight from them, so I like Baylor better. Click, not easy, but we'll take Baylor.
Sure.
Pedigree as well. Baylor brings in great athletes. Liberty and Oregon.
Click.
Thought so.
Now, remember this.
Okay.
You know, there's always been that charge from that Nike guy up there. Give them everything. Get them all in there and see what we can do. Liberty, 28-6.
Okay.
Giving 6.5. Little tighter. Little as some of our announcers say, a little snugger in the pants. A little snugger than you like in the britches. But
you still think they get by, though, right?
Yes.
For one viewer, we still like Oregon. By the way, I took Oregon based on the first thing you said. Phil Knight, Oregon, probably get by. Not great. Obviously, they should be more than a 5, but I think they'll get by Liberty. Here's where we get a little sneaky here. Arizona against Akron, and I don't think
they're playing, and also they're in Seattle.
So that lends to Arizona.
No, I'm sorry. Oregon is in Seattle as well.
Oh, okay. So
well,
that's
going to have a lot of homers. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Arizona and Akron. And I don't think Arizona.
Why do we every year try to trust the Pac-10? Every year they screw us. And our bracket gets thrown out.
So
is this the one where we go? There's just no way. Arizona is giving 14 points.
Oh. So are we just going to take them? Because of that spread, not because we like Arizona, but because they're like.
I don't like Arizona.
I know.
I'm trying to figure out which Pac-10 team is literally going to be like, here's my bracket. All right,
but and I like that you bring up the spreads because everybody just looks at these numbers and Vegas gives you.
This is a 4. So even if they're the worst 4 seed, that would mean in everyone's mind they're a top 15 or a top 16 team in the nation.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be close. And Vegas is kind of saying this shouldn't be close. And then the Pac-10 rears its face again, and I go, all right. Arizona,
we're gonna have to take we're gonna have to take Arizona. I mean, that's
an interesting matchup there.
I know, but it's a hill we're willing to die on, right?
Sure.
Take Arizona. All right, let's take Arizona, and you'll get Arizona versus Oregon, and then those chips may fall differently. BYU, Brigham Young University against VCU. Any context here besides 3-letter teams versus 3-letter teams? That's what I got.
Well, I mean, this
is not Shaka Smart's VCU.
Correct. But again, that program and that tradition has stayed strong. 28-6.
Yeah.
Not a bad run at all. BYU, not necessarily playing a ton. 24-9. I don't know where they are. I think that would make a little bit of a difference, but just a quick. I mean, you can throw up a coin either way, and survey says BYU's the favorite by 2.5. So, again, this is another how do we get on the right side of the 50-50s to win our bracket? This is one of those where are you going to be on the right side of the 50-50?
I would take, and that's a great way to put it, right? It is a 50-50.
Yep.
Everybody's looking at the chalk side of it. Hey, give me VCU.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it's the 11s this year. VCU 11, North Carolina 11. Maybe it's the 11s this year that get by.
Yep.
Maybe it is. I kind of feel like switching that New Mexico Marquette game, but that's okay.
All right.
I will. I just did it. Well, we're live here, so it's I just gotta I looked at it and I went, give me Marquette. Wisconsin and Montana. 3-14. My gut has told me Montana the whole time, but I need context. You know me. I need some information. You know more than I do about Wisconsin.
Again, Big Ten, thumped Michigan State, pounding down and all around. And full disclosure, at 12 o'clock last night before I went to bed, I picked Montana.
Really?
It is a 16.5 point favorite for Wisconsin. So if you're going to try to take the points, maybe it's Montana. If you're going to try to take the overall win, you're definitely going to be one of the minority who do this. But we say it before and we'll say it again. That's why we play the game.
You know what? I like the point that you brought up. I know you took Montana, and I looked at Montana. But I do believe, you beat Michigan and Michigan State. You're a 3 seed, but you're a good team. I'll take Wisconsin.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll take them. The big red W, by the way.
The dub.
Big red W. They used to have the Badger. It was much cooler. The symbol on there, but we'll take the big red W.
Heard that.
I think we both like this next game equally. St. Mary's and Vanderbilt.
It'll be fun.
On 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Vanderbilt.
St. Mary's.
Really?
Yep.
I thought you liked Vanderbilt better.
Oh.
No?
Oh. So St. Mary's ran around and kind of did what they were supposed to do. The problem is a little bit of their overall schedule. Okay. Not exactly the strongest all the way there, but did what they're supposed to do. They won the Mountain West. Is that where? Big West?
Yeah. Mountain West.
Regular season, lost to Gonzaga in the finals, but that's kind of what each one does back and forth there. So St. Mary's, the Gales, West Coast Conference, 28-5, 30th in the BPI. A little stronger on defense than the O, so they can kind of tie some people up and go from there. Vanderbilt just kind of falls in the middle of everything else. Now, I don't remember. Did they fire Stackhouse, or is he still there?
I just wanted to, it was funny. It's funny you're saying that, because I was just wondering if they still had Jerry Stackhouse running around.
I'm working on it.
I am as well. I don't know. I don't think it is.
He did get fired.
Yeah.
That sucks. So, now I definitely can't root for Vanderbilt because they're all really, really smart. So I don't like any of them.
Oh, they're all really, really smart. You know what? I'm going to take Vanderbilt. I just think that the SEC is the strong. St. Mary's. I'll tell you what. I take St. Mary's every year, and every year they burn me. They maybe get past the first round, but it's always, what's the spread on this game?
I hope they burn you again this.
You got a spread on me? Because they always play within 3 to 4 points, and I lose the rest of my hair.
St. Mary's giving 4.5 to Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it's gonna be another hair moment for me. All right, I'll flip. I'll sit with you. St. Mary's.
But again, I mean, like we said, and like I'll say, and we'll probably say it 5-6 more times. This is one of these somewhat. I honestly believe anything within 5 points is one of those. Well, 5-point spreads is one of those almost 50-50 games where you've got to somewhat guess right or whatever, and pray that they get through.
Say that one more time because I want everybody to hear
one that's close. But
yeah, anything under 5 points, and you're really going to be sweating a little bit.
Right.
St. Mary seems to play these games all the time, though. I wonder if they're less sloppy than Vanderbilt. I'll take St. Mary's just because.
No.
You want me to go back?
Come back over to the dark side. You stay over there.
I said I would sit with you. St. Mary's. I'll sit with you. I will.
Lord.
I will because the next. Well, look, can I just click the next one then? Alabama over Robert Morris.
Alabama.
Unless their spirits get broken once again. All right. We have taken care of the whole. Have we taken care of? No, we haven't. We still have to get to Midwest. Oh, look at Houston's playing a team full of pigs. Suey. See you. SIUE 16th ranked versus Houston. Anything to it? Click it. All right, click it. Gonzaga versus Georgia.
Yuck.
Ugh.
This is one of these. Another one of where do you want to? What hill do you want to die on here?
I think I'd rather die on Georgia's hill. They're scrappy. They're a bad team, and they're not a bad team, but they're Georgia will fight you. And I give me Georgia. I just got a feeling.
Okay.
Give me Georgia. I've watched them a couple times, and I'm like, down by 10, down by 5. Jesus, won't they go away? They don't. Clemson, McNeese, Clemson. Huh?
Bless you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Genius and polite. You don't find that. Usually geniuses. We'll take Clemson, right? Is that anything in this? Yes?
I think Clemson rolls.
Okay. I think it's the same team from last year. And my upset comes next.
Uh-oh.
Purdue against High Point.
All right.
Maybe there's nothing in it. It's not the Purdue team from last year. We know that.
That's true.
What did they lose? I think they only lost Edie, right?
I think they lost a senior as well, but yeah.
What's high? Does High Point have a good record?
29-5.
And it's just this is one of those games where it would be impossible for me not to pick High Point based on their name. I know it's silly, but I can literally see them in the newspaper tomorrow. It's a great headline. I don't think there's a lot in Purdue. By the way, Purdue until last year exited in the first round, exited in the third. They were exiting with talent. Now they're devoid of talent. I'll take High Point.
They definitely. I am actually trying to find High Point to let you know, but
it just feels like
High Point won the Big South, 29-5.
Yeah,
81st in the BPI.
That's not bad for a team I've never heard.
And then all of a sudden, Vinny and Tony started talking to some people.
Oh, here we go.
So Vinny and Tony said, all right, we'll set this line Purdue 10.5. And now it's 7.5.
Oh, I'm taking High Point. It's not even.
That's not a point. That's not 2 points. You move that line. That is the biggest moving line out of any one of the opening games.
Albeit, I'll say it. It's the highest point line move.
Ugh.
Come on, baby. Give me High Points. I'm not crazy to pick them. I'm not.
No, no, you're not. I mean, but like somebody there might be an injury. I don't know if they're all.
If I'm gonna tell you something, and I want everyone to know this as well. If I pulled off of where we were looking, if I take Purdue and High Point wins, there's going to be a desk I'm gonna flip or a TV in the middle of my street because it's one of those games where you take what you feel. And their name is High Point, and they're a good team. It's not like they snuck in 29-5, and
Right.
the lines moved down. Everybody's maybe, by the way, maybe the lines moved down because of the name. Maybe people threw scrap money on them too.
No.
That stuff happens. We're taking High Point. You take High Point last night too? Did you take Purdue? All right. I'm just wondering because I know you filled out a separate bracket. Illinois and Xavier. I don't know anything here. I know Xavier has looked better, but
so a really fun game to watch last night. And actually, it was one of the better games that had two really good commentators. Made it better as well. Slugfest, up and down, hitting threes, going low. Xavier. Texas again, not a terrible team as well. So I took the winner of this. So both the 11 matchups that played on Tuesday now have 2 days to rest and go. And every other team has had 4 or 5 days to rest. So I am in the mentality of you're going to keep repeating what you've done before, and you have less time to break a mold. I'm not saying this. I'm going to be 50. You asked me to play 30 minutes and then play another 30 minutes 48 hours later. No. But these guys go up and down the floor, and it's no problem at all. Yeah. So I think that, I'm going to yield with what I've seen, how we're going to match up and go from there. So I took Xavier.
Full disclosure, I'm 40 myself, about to be 41, and I would like the 4 days rest, but 4 days rest for kids. Well, I'm saying 4 days rest for kids might be 2 days too many. And I don't know much about Illinois.
3.5.
Who's favored? Illinois?
Illini.
The Fighting Illini.
Again, what did I say? This is the second. You're 50-50.
Yeah, it is 50-50. Give me Xavier. They played really well against Texas. Yeah. Give me Xavier because 6th in the ranking of 6 out of the Big Ten. Yeah. All right. Oh, you want me to pick Troy?
Yep. Go right on ahead.
I won't do it. I hate Kentucky. I hate Kentucky. I do. I don't like them. I don't like them because I don't like the boosters for what they did to John Calipari, which was they wanted him to stump for their political views, and they wanted 19-year-old kids to stump for their political views. Calipari said no. They shut down his private jet, and he called Arkansas in the middle of the night. That is the full story for which you did not get on ESPN. I actually hope Troy beats Kentucky, but that being said, we'll move on to UCLA versus Utah State. Anything in there? You think UCLA is just? I mean, their coaching's good. I don't know whether they have the talent there still.
I took Utah State.
Did you?
UCLA is favored by 5.5.
Okay.
Again, I will come back to what we said a half an hour ago. Which one of the Big Ten schools, Pac-10 schools is going to screw me? And right now, I'm trying to just get rid of all the Pac-10 schools, so they will actually screw me the other way by doing well. But Utah State is quietly building one of those programs like Marquette, like VCU, like Creighton. They're there every year.
Yeah, they are.
A lot of the mid-majors do not want to play them because it will hurt them. 26-7. I wouldn't be. UCLA's 27th BPI, and
It's not bad.
Utah State's 44. So they're close.
Yeah. All right, we'll take Utah.
So Vinny and Tony say.
I'll rock Utah State. Let's go State Utes. And then Tennessee, Wofford, click it. Tennessee's good.
Wofford hurt?
No way.
No, not a chance.
Okay. I was like, well, listen, I like the little cute dogs on there, but all right. So let's move back up because we're gonna get a little bit more difficult here. Back up to the South region. Auburn and Creighton.
Click it.
Yeah, I don't think Creighton's gonna get past Auburn. Funny things have happened, but Creighton's not good enough this year. Michigan and A&M.
Where are we? Oh, yep. Okay.
Back south on the left-hand side. Michigan, A&M.
Yep, I got you.
Right.
I kind of yielded with the Big Ten again. I think that Michigan should get through. They've got and the way I kind of look at it is that even if I guess this one wrong, will it hurt me down the road? And in my mind, I still have Auburn moving forward regardless of who wins this one.
Yeah.
So I'm not necessarily losing a lot of sleep over this.
That's a great point too. Yeah.
In my mindset, I put Michigan through, but A&M's seasoned as well. It's where are they playing?
I'm gonna put I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna move A&M through. I just think the SEC is too strong. A&M I've seen a couple times. A&M from last year was good. A&M from this year is good. Michigan's back. But they're not all the way back. I'm gonna default. I'm gonna move A&M here, and then we got a little problem here because I think we will, because if Auburn and Texas A&M play each other, it's an SEC matchup for which I don't know if Auburn really wants to have. If Auburn got Michigan, it'd be chalk.
I don't think so. We'll get to that, but I think again we'll talk about days.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, but I'm kind of setting that up. North Carolina and Iowa State.
Click it.
Click Iowa State.
Incorrect.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I don't believe.
I think Iowa State, if they get through, are really going to struggle. And I think that if North Carolina gets through, they're going to start looking at each other, going, "Hey, we could create some damage here."
Okay, so the NC State from last year continues in North Carolina. Okay,
maybe,
all right. I could be sold.
Canyon.
I could be sold. Grand Canyon's good.
Click
Marquette, Michigan State. Click it.
Michigan State. I just think they're too strong. Although, did I take Marquette? Nope.
No, you didn't. Marquette's not that good this year. And maybe last year's Marquette. I would have the conversation
again. Marquette is. I mean, you're absolutely correct. The Big East not as strong. UConn, St. John's, Marquette, Creighton. You're 4. Xavier's the outlier at 5. They're not the 4 that we are used to, and we now have somebody who we haven't seen in a long time in St. John's come through.
Yeah, and St. John's is like
mean that at any given time these teams can. I mean, they all went around in the preseason. They all went around before conferences, and UConn didn't give a crap who they were going up against. Marquette did not care. Creighton did not care.
What would St. John's be ranked if they were in the SEC?
I cannot.
Are they a 5?
I was going to say they're going to be in the top 5.
Because it's still Auburn, Tennessee, Florida, whichever way you want to flip them. Kentucky, and then maybe St. John. I mean, that's for real. Well, I mean, what would your other SEC? Missouri? I mean, what would your other SEC team be?
It could be A&M.
A&M, right. I mean, there's a handful of teams that could fit that spot, and St. John's is not even number one. So let's just.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
No, because you could have put
we're really
UConn
starting to pull hairs here a little bit, but
you could put UConn anywhere last year.
I mean, you put Auburn into the middle of Madison Square Garden against St. John's. That's a somewhat unfair home field advantage.
Well, yeah, but you could have had UConn play the Charlotte Hornets last year and it'd be a decent basketball game. I mean,
it would be.
They were really good last year is what I'm trying to say.
You're right. And again, it took, yes.
All right, so since we talked them up.
Florida.
I'm clicking it. I mean, that's just.
Absolutely.
And I just want to say this. Could they have put Florida in this bracket to knock UConn out and be crowned at the same time this year? So Florida not only knocks out last year's champion, they are this year's champion. Just a little, right? A little food for thought. I have Florida winning right now.
Okay. All right.
We haven't gotten all the way. But I'm saying, like, that would be something that they would look at, right? Maybe. I don't know. Memphis, Grand Canyon.
Same thing as above. All right. So the winner of this, are they going to beat Florida?
No.
So then now you literally just flip a coin.
I will take the team I've seen.
I mean, if Grand Canyon does get by and they're that good, could they beat Memphis? Sure. I mean, if you're feeling feisty and you want to click it and grip it and rip it, throw Grand Canyon in there. Who knows?
I'm not even worried. That doesn't even. I think they beat Memphis and it's not close.
I took Memphis. Okay.
All right. I think Grand Canyon is really good.
It's okay.
Drake and Texas Tech.
So this is my underlier here. I think I immediately will say Texas Tech, and I think Texas Tech. I think it's also SEC as well, right?
Are they 12?
SEC? Oh, moving.
Pac-12, I think.
No way, really?
Yeah, I think so.
What are they, league?
Everybody moves around, so it's tough to tell at times, you know.
Big 12.
Big 12, yeah. Big 12's not good.
That's not necessarily true.
Well, I mean, you know, the beacon of the Big 12 is Kansas, so let's.
Where's Houston? Is it Houston in the Big 12?
Yeah, Houston's the Big 12. Houston's.
Where's Baylor?
Baylor's not very good.
Baylor's in. Oh, here we go. All right.
They're not, though.
I'm not.
They're not.
What you got to do, big fella. I'm not.
The Big 12. The SEC is stronger than the Big 12. The SEC is stronger than everybody, but I just don't think the Big 12 is very strong. Does Texas Tech get past Drake, though, is what we're trying to figure out.
Yes.
Okay, I'll do it. Yeah, I'm not. Drake gets one, and that's it. I'm okay with that. Arkansas, Calipari versus, and I feel like they did this. Like, this bracket feels custom made. Florida gets past, and then you get Calipari versus Patino. It feels custom made. It really does. I don't think Arkansas could really beat a lot of these teams out there, but I think that they're going to get past Kansas, and then, you know, St. John's will beat the team that makes a lot of stakes. So then you got St. John's versus Arkansas, and, you know, for all intents and purposes, I believe St. John's is better than Arkansas.
Thank you.
So we'll move them on.
Yep.
And moving back up, we finished that one. All right, we're really rolling now. Sorry, I'm waiting for ESPN. All right, so I'll just click it. Duke over Baylor. I just said that Baylor's not good enough. So Oregon and Arizona.
Which one of these two teams do you trust?
So let's also talk about that. This gets a little tougher in the second round because we don't have spreads. Can we at least say that? Like,
yes. All right. I'll bite.
We're cheating
again. So now, if you're looking at this and you've got, I think, 30 minutes to figure this out.
Yes.
You're gonna have to look at your BPI. You're gonna have to look at where they're playing their second game and their first game, and that's gonna make a difference as well. So you've got the Ducks versus Arizona.
Both know each other well.
Arizona, Big 12. Oregon Ducks, Big 10.
No, both Pac-10.
Nope, 0 for 2. So
really? Oh,
yes.
you're right. All right. Give me Oregon. Give me Oregon.
All right.
Arizona's not great this year.
Yep, they're not. They're only 22-12 with a 9 BPI.
That's not 22-12.
Yep.
You want Arizona?
I would take Arizona over Oregon.
All right, I'll switch it then. That's fine. I could live with it. Arizona hurts me every year. All right, it's fine. BCU.
Now, the funny thing is, on my bracket over here,
yeah,
I have Oregon. But I didn't know Arizona was that high.
I can't with you. No, I'm kidding.
It's okay. You can, dude. It's your bracket, man.
If you fill out a million brackets,
I'll look at yours. If you look at mine, I'll win again every other year, and we're good. It's okay.
I'm the trash talking. BCU and Wisconsin. I'll take Wisconsin.
The Dubs.
Yeah, red W's. Give me them. St. Mary's, Alabama. St. Mary's ain't getting past Alabama. Sorry.
So you're correct. So just for poops and giggles here, this is the bracket, where everything blew up. So I have BCU and Montana. I have Vanderbilt and Alabama, and then I have BCU versus Vanderbilt.
Hey,
look, I just I'm just maybe, who knows? But this is the one. I wouldn't change anything on yours. I like that. I think Alabama is, if Alabama is going to lose, it's either to Duke or to St. Mary's. They're not going to lose. If they get to the Elite Eight, they're not going to lose because they'll have that 5 days.
Yeah, what's interesting though is if Vanderbilt, here's the thing with the SEC all year, I've noticed. SEC can beat SEC. It's been all year. It's been absolutely all year long that the SEC can beat the SEC.
Right.
So if the SEC if Vandy gets past St. Mary's, make believe land here, they get past St. Mary's and they play Alabama, they could beat Alabama.
It's a catch-22 because they probably played each other. So Vanderbilt may not be as intimidated or prepared, but at the same time, they're also more prepared and being ready on the other side. So
that's what everybody's looking at, these SEC teams, and really the ones that are lower seed, what we really haven't thought about, could knock out the higher seed ones.
Heard that. All right, we got 20 minutes.
All right, shit. I want to switch this. I want Vanderbilt, and I'm going to take.
You're not allowed to do that.
I'm going to take Vanderbilt to move on against Wisconsin. I just got a gut. It's fine. All right. Auburn, Texas A&M. We just talked about that.
Where are you?
Oh no, I have to go lower. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying here. Florida. Houston, Georgia. We like Houston, right? Okay. Clemson, High Point.
Clemson.
Okay. Xavier, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't like Kentucky either. Utah State and Tennessee.
Tennessee.
All right, I was gonna say Utah State maybe.
No way.
Okay, all right.
Too good.
Too much talent. I get it. All right, back up to the top here. We've got Auburn and A&M.
Click it.
Click Auburn. Okay.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. All right. I think A&M could make that competitive. North Carolina, Michigan State. I'll take Michigan State here.
This is where, unfortunately, my baby blue went away.
Yeah, it's just Michigan State has been ranked high all year for a reason. Izzo does not.
Again, it's not. I mean, they just do the things you're supposed to do, and
sometimes
North Carolina just doesn't always do the things you're supposed to do.
Sometimes Michigan State should be ranked 17th.
Look at the Duke game of them being right where they need to be, and somehow their player puts his foot in the middle of the lane and they lose.
All right, this is easy. Florida over Grand Canyon. Bang.
Correct.
Grand
Canyon.
God, that would be a wild upset, though.
Johnny's.
Texas, yeah, it's Johnny's. I mean, it just is.
That's gonna be a fun game.
This one
Oh,
for 1/2.
grab no way. That's gonna be a fun game. All right,
Duke beats Arizona.
click it.
Wisconsin loses to Vanderbilt.
So are you following my bracket? Following my bracket.
Why? What do I have? What do I have your bracket?
So far, I mean, that's my matchup.
As Vanderbilt was really good early on the year, so who knows, Okay, so we got Auburn, Michigan
You need the
State.
bottom right.
Oh yeah, that's all right. I'm sorry. Houston Clemson.
Which Houston team's going to show up? So I think Houston will show up here. I think Clemson is going to push them, but I think Houston again like they just take the floor, and there's an overwhelming size and athleticism. I like if I can remember his name, Sam. Sir, who's their head coach?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
Oklahoma's head coach.
Yeah,
got one out, and again found a nice little home in Houston, and is doing what he's got to do. I'll take Houston.
Okay. All right, I'll click it.
Hey, dude.
I'm not going to click it. I'm going to take Clemson. I think Clemson.
All
This is
right,
the same team I returned from last year, and they're going to remember. Kentucky and Tennessee.
The Volunteers.
Yeah, they're a better team.
Move on.
Volunteers move on. Okay, we'll move back upstate here. Just a couple minutes till tip. Auburn and Michigan State is interesting to me. Yeah. Okay, I'll click it. Auburn
that team has to have some things go wrong.
Is this interesting? Duke isn't great, man.
Duke is the highest ranked proficiency per offensive play out of every team in collegiate basketball. They score 1.27 points on average on every possession.
Oh, that's great, actually. All right, that was a good sales. That was a good. See, I can be swayed. All right, I'll take Duke.
And you. I mean, again, you also have a true. You want to talk about NBA talent?
Yeah,
a true number 1, number 2 pick sitting us off there. Now, somebody's ankle's got to get better.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Somebody's ankle does have to get better.
We'll
I think
see how it goes. But I think tape, and he'll figure it out.
So all right, so Florida smashes St. John's. I know, but it's not. It's going to be a half of basketball, and then Patino will probably be wheeled out because he's passed out. Tennessee beats Clemson. Tennessee's a very good team. I don't see Clemson going any further. Nice job, but Tennessee's talented, real talented. So here we go. We're left with Auburn, Florida, and Duke and Tennessee.
Yep.
And I've seen a lot of. I mean, I live in Florida. It's not a homer. I've watched. Florida. I know where I live, but I'm not a homer.
What newspapers you read?
I'm from Pennsylvania. No, I do newspapers. I've watched so many times where Florida has walked on to home courts and but maybe this time I'm telling you, this Elijah Martin kid from Florida, when they need a gas pedal, he'll fight your whole team. I'm not so sure Auburn has a guy like Elijah Martin. Maybe they do. We're gonna find out. This could be an absolute all-time slugfest. And I think that they put these two teams on this side for a great game between them. And
excuse me.
Yeah.
Johnny Broom.
I'm gonna take
man. Yeah.
Is it okay? All right, I agree. I'll believe you. I'll take Florida here. I just think there's too much there. I think Florida's going to win that game. And Duke versus Tennessee. I think I think we all want Duke. Tennessee's a good team, but a little inconsistent throughout the year. And so I'll move Duke forward because of your offensive efficiency rating. And now we are down to our title game between Florida and Duke.
Yep. Although full disclosure, I have Auburn.
I know. There's a lot of people out there that have Auburn, and Auburn's a great team. But I just from every time I've seen the gas pedal needed, Florida's been the team to do it.
Yep.
A couple times Auburn has slipped off the pedal, and they needed gas, and they did not. They should have pedaled Georgia, and I was like, when am I going to see this Auburn team that everybody's talking about? I missed it. I couldn't find them. So I've got Florida Duke, and it took us a little while to get here. Duke is Vegas's favorite.
Correct.
And their second favorite's Florida.
Where'd that go?
And, I don't know who you like out of these teams better. Either one of them are deserving of the championship, but I just think, to me, it feels like it's Florida's year. So I'm gonna click them because there have been, I don't know how many times this year did I call you and go, dude, I'm telling you, like, Florida's really good, and you're like, yeah, no, they are really good. My buddy Zach, whom I work with, he's a great guy. He's a Florida guy. He's a Florida homer, and that's fine. You wear your Duke hats. That's fine. But he's a tremendous guy, and he's a Florida guy. Florida football, Florida basketball.
Wrong button.
I did not. Florida football, Florida basketball. And I came up to him a couple weeks ago. Shout out to Zach, by the way. And I went, hey, man, just to let you know that Florida's really good this year. Anyway, yeah, he goes, no. It was after that Tennessee game where they absolutely came out and went, Tennessee's the number one team, and it was just slaughter.
Yeah.
And that was the day.
So that's my concern. That's I think the concern on both sides is that I think Duke and Tennessee are going to expend a lot of energy against each other. But I think Auburn and Florida are going to be walking away in body bags.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that could be true.
The amount of energy that you're going to have to spend to get past them. Who's got a deeper, stronger team at the end? And I love Carolina. I love UConn. But I think Duke's just a little deeper than Florida, so they can handle some things. And again, you've got the number one player in the nation in flag, the guy that practiced with the Olympic team, the guy that made some of the Olympic players look bad. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Do you get in there healthy? How much? I don't know. I had
total points.
156 points. So they're kind of going up and down the floor a little bit. That's kind of like an 80-76, somewhere around there.
So I had this number in my head.
763. Is that a shit number?
I just thought, I was like, actually I had 167, then you said 158, so I split the middle. 163. There you go. Again, it's and it's about to be, and you know this.
So I'm gonna submit the bracket. Just I mean, if you already hit, I was gonna say, I think Duke and Florida will be a higher scoring game than Duke and Auburn will be. I think Auburn plays defense a little bit better than Florida does. Duke can get up and down.
The championship game is always a little bit lower scoring because those first couple minutes they're always kind of feeling each other out and stuff like that.
Family show.
It's always we're heading towards horse season and duck season. I just think that Florida does just a better job of like when the coach asks, the horse goes. I've seen it, and I that's a hill I'm willing to die on. It really is. There hasn't been last year. Everybody's like, oh, do you know what Purdue might be able to do to UConn? I went, children, please.
Yes.
Chill. They're giving you America 7.5. And you went, oh, that Edey guy's really tall. UConn ran like a damn machine.
So
you could blink, it was 9 points. I was laughing.
Right. We'll end it on this, and we'll get out of here.
All right.
There are two teams that have over 10 in the BPI on offense and defense. One is Duke. The second is Houston.
Ooh.
Houston's offense isn't that strong, but Houston easily outranks everybody else in defense.
I like this.
The next, the 3, the 4, and the 5 are teams for which we are arguing are in our Final Four. Auburn at 3, Florida at 4, Tennessee at 5. So we're going to have to kind of see how the cookie crumbles there. Out of all the defenses, Florida ranks the lowest. Out of all the offenses, Tennessee ranks the lowest.
They control the ball well. They have the good guards, but you're right. Yeah,
right. And again, full disclosure, Duke is the highest. 13.6 on offense, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And then 11.1 on defense. The only two teams that are better on defense are the Houston Tigers, Cougars, Mickey, and your St. John's Red Storm.
The Cougars, Mickey. What the hell are you talking?
Well, I said Tigers, and I'm like, that's not the Houston Tigers, you idiot.
Oh, I thought you were saying it for another reason. I was like, what?
Oh, no. No. Houston Cougars.
Mickey's Cougars. All right. You got Duke then in your bracket?
I got Duke.
All right.
Now, I'm going to, when we get off, I'm going to hammer away one more real quick. Try to, now we've walked all the way through it. I've got some more information, and then we'll see where we end up. I mean, this one that's printed off that's got Duke winning it. That's the one I'll match up against you with. But
okay.
I will tell you that the second one that I fill out will not have Duke winning it. So you can't claim like, oh,
I've got Florida winning it, and it's a hill I'm willing to die on. And that's what you guys should be doing, by the way. You should sit there and go, hey, if I pick this team, like I really believe in Grand Canyon. I don't think they're going to get past. Well, but you know what? What's insane is that if Grand Canyon found a way, because they do have an NBA player on the team, to get past Florida, I mean, the eyes will be open across America, because then you're sitting there going, how good is Grand Canyon? For real, right? Like that's not we could be sitting here going, Jesus, I mean, these kids are in the Final Four. Or Memphis
20
kids.
minutes.
All right. I'm out.
Big fella, I enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, we do this every year. It's great. I couldn't not pass it up this year. Our schedules were a little bit different, but we always seem to get it done. Mick the Quick, ladies and gentlemen, he is your NCAA expert.
To the best, as long as UConn wins.
All right, baby. Huskies for life. We'll see you guys on the
brother.
side.
Have a great afternoon.
You too.